me just talk a little bit about this file. This file here, you could do this in an inline style sheet. You could basically put this, but I like to keep it separate, keep it clean. Plus, if you want to use the same styles in several sheets, you don't have to recopy everything. A lot of times, I will use embedded or inline on a page if I want to make a specific change for just that page. Just going over here what we have here. This is typical CSS. If you don't know CSS that very well, I am planning on making a CSS tutorial. You can look for some other tutorials, look at W3 Schools, and get some basics, but I'll get some basics here. There's a little advanced, nothing too much. The big thing I want to talk about, just a question. This is being used due to the fact is I code a lot in XHTML rather than HTML. And due to that fact, to get things to work properly, to basically get it to validate it, excuse me, you have to do some tricky situations. And one of the biggest things is if you want to center your content page. If you're a type of person that likes the page to be the whole page, you don't have to worry about this. But I really don't like to code that way. So a lot of my websites, if you look at the coding, you're going to see this part that I've highlighted. Now, what has to be done is you specify the width, which we did, and you need to take the left margin and make it go negative 400 pixels, which if we were to leave out the rest of the stuff and we looked, your page would be off the page. Then the 50% is what brings it back. I was messing around to find this and get it to validate, and I believe I've seen it on a few websites that also use it. This will work well for Mozilla Firefox and I believe Safari. On the other hand, the big giant Internet Explorer does not like this. So what I have to do here is add this little tidbit of code. And all this is a margin left like we did here, but you take this number and you minus 1. Now, don't take negative 400, you just take 400, 399. That's what you have to do, minus 1. Other than that, you see the clear both, which that just clears it. And I have the text align center for the footer, clear both. The float left for the nav and the content because they're going to be side by side. So now if we bring up the page here, this is what it looks like right now. White background, you got your header, the 800 by 100. Then you have your navigation, which is 200 pixel width, this being 600 pixel width. This next line has an 800 width, do a 50 height. So let's go back here, and what I want to do to make this kind of look pretty is I'm going to do a border. We're going to give the border 1 pixel. We are going to make the border solid, and we're going to color the pixel black, so that's 6 zeros. You can do the shorthand of 3 zeros if you wish. So if I go to save this, come back here, refresh, now we have a border. Bring this in the middle here a little bit. Now, because I'm posting this on YouTube, I can only pan it here, but you kind of get the drift. So now, one thing you might be hesitant to do if you want a line between your header and your content and your footer, you might be destined to put an HR somewhere and make it the full width. Well, we're not going to do that. We're going to come here, border dash bottom. And we're going to make it 1 pixel solid, found, and another black here. Okay, so I'm going to save that. Come back here. And there we go. What I'm going to do is copy this. Control C or Command C if you're on a Mac like I am. And we are going to go here. Command V or Control V. Now what we're going to do is change this from bottom to top. Now you might be hesitant to say, why don't I just put that bottom with the content? The reason is we're not statically assigning the height. So if you don't have much content, your line will be too high. It won't work very well. So let me go ahead and save that. Come back here. And there we go. As you can see, you're starting to get yourself a decent looking, nicely formed site here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here and border right. And we're going to do the 1 pixel solid. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Save it. Now, what I did here on purpose is I put the border right. And now you notice where the content goes here. You notice how it dropped. Does anyone know why? The reason that has happened is because the outer is set to 800. I have 200 for the navigation, 200 for the content. But I just added a pixel border, which now in turn is causing an issue because there's not enough room anymore. So what you need to do when you add a border is either reduce the width of your navigation content or reduce the content, which we'll do that, and we'll reduce it to $5.99 and click save, and it goes back. Now you're probably saying, okay, now wait a minute here, I don't like the way that looks. Look how that content's all brushed up against that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go padding. Now this could be done in a couple ways. We could do padding dash left, or we can do padding. Now we're going to do padding because we need it to do the top and the left. So what we do is I start off this way. The first one is top, right, bottom, left. So we'll take the right and we'll say 10. The right is 0, the bottom is 0. We'll make the bottom 25, and we'll make left 10. Now, do this, come back. Uh-oh, what happened there? Again, same situation. This time it's with padding. So, we need to drop this to 89. Control save. Okay, now it's down here a little bit because remember we put the padding here. Now, if we do the same thing here, copy, go to the nav. Now, the same thing's going to apply here. Because I have 10, I'm probably just going to want to immediately just drop this to 79. Go back, refresh, boom. So you can do the same thing to the header and the footer, but I think that's going to pretty much wrap the tutorial. So now you can just go in and do what you need to do. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe, watch some of my other videos. Leave a comment if you wish. Please don't make it negative, or it will be removed. Thank you.